What's up, fam of Liberty, and also everyone else who's watching this video who isn't following our channel for some mystifying, stupefying reason? It's your boy Big Sarge, or the artist formerly known as Admin Tim. I'm the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization, which has been out there steadily enraging MAGA fuckface ass clowns and some leftists since 2015. If you saw us out in the streets at a protest for the first time and or you're new to our channel, I know what you might be thinking, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way. No music today. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck neo-Nazi illegal immigrant Elon Musk, fuck GOP politicians, fuck all these Democrat politicians that aren't out there fucking putting their lives on the line. And also, fuck billionaires, the wealth hoarders that have their fucking boots on the neck of just about every American citizen. Neither this channel nor its comment sections are a safe space for bootlicking simps for a Russian asset, convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, Wish.com fascist oligarch, failed insurrectionist, wannabe authoritarian tyrant, or his sugar daddy, the world's biggest supervillain, thin-skinned, beta bitch-made, man-child moron from South Africa that nobody fucking elected. Now you know where I stand on things. So if you are still here and you're not frantically rage typing into the comments box like a triggered snowflake who swallows the load of garbage that the right wing peddles, then maybe consider following this channel after you watch this video and then deciding whether or not you like the cut of my jib. Before I begin, I will digress. Happy Floralia, everyone. Floralia was a Roman feast to celebrate the flowering of grains and to honor Flora. Usually it was held at the end of April, but it was a movable festival until the late Republic. During the Roman Empire, games were held in the Circus Maximus to honor the deity, and gathered crowds were showered with beans and lupines. Animals with great fertility, such as rabbits and goats, etc., were released into the countryside, and women were encouraged to wear brightly colored clothing and garlands of flowers in their hair. I don't know what the men wore, but we got the patriarchy for a reason, and it's called patriarchy because of the Roman Empire. The Floralia was also regarded as a festival for sex workers, or as they used to be called in Roman times, prostitutes. The painting is The Floralia by Prosper Piatti, and I regrettably have had to censor the boobies, which I like, and other parts that are also delicious. Tonight's live stream is with Nick Sutter with the In Time podcast. He was suggested by our previous guest, Greg Terry, and there are just 2 days left in Confederate Heritage Month, and so our crowdfunding campaign will be coming to an end. I know some of you are cheering. Everyone who's backed the campaign will receive an invite to a private live stream called Drunken Civil War History with Big Sarge, and those of you who can make it will be invited to attend the live taping of said event. We'll be renting out a bar in the Raleigh-Durham area, and maybe afterwards we'll go throw some axes together. The campaign officially ends May 2nd, so there's still time for you to donate, and there's still time for everyone who's already pledged to upgrade and get their t-shirt add-on. This shirt will not ever be sold in the merch store. It's only for backers. Now that I have digressed. Today's video is brought to you by Admin Elo. The topic today is about the Trump administration's lies and how the MAGAT cultists who are destroying our country have normalized those lies to the American people in order to weaken faith in the public sphere, making their fellow mental morons wholly dependent upon their bullshit. We like history around here, and here's some that even ties together the Confederate States of America with what is happening right now. I know those of you who aren't watching my Sherman cosplay videos are groaning, and I can hear your eyeballs rolling around in their sockets. You'll live, I promise. Republicans and, before them, anti-federalists argued that centralizing the federal government would eventually lead to an infringement on our liberty. Not like today, where we have a federal government that's infringing on our liberty. Therefore, state governments should have more power in order to defend the average citizen against these hypothetical infringements. This is alluded to in the 10th Amendment to the Constitution. Any powers not specifically delegated to the federal government nor prohibited to the states are reserved to the states or to the people. This was the basis for the Articles of Confederation and also for the Confederate States of America during the Civil War. As a way of slow-walking us into another de facto confederacy, conservatives and religious zealots have sought to, quote, shrink the federal government to a size that could be drowned in a bathtub, end quote. The statement, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help," has long been synonymous with inefficiency and indifference and incompetence. In order to realize the vision of a state government being stronger than the federal government, Republicans started with concepts like block grants under Nixon. This was funding for a specific area, but it was left to the states to decide how and where it would be spent, i.e. education, roads, etc. Now this has progressed to what we're seeing now, nominating individuals to completely dismantle the federal agencies and try to farm out their tasks, like the Department of Education, which was not dictating what kids were being taught, especially after No Child Left Behind was abandoned, but it was trying to preserve adherence to federal laws relating to federal civil rights laws. Nominating and appointing incompetents to important federal posts has thereby made the federal government so inept that it literally hamstrings itself and proves that the Republicans were right to reduce spending. After all, see, those people are wasting our tax money. Trump was right about everything. We all know that various scandals have damaged the public trust in politicians for many, many decades, going back to at least the assassination of JFK and Watergate. The decline of ethical and nonpartisan journalism has also eroded trust in journalists and pushed folks to the margins. There is liberal journalism that twists the issues and is legitimately biased. But those of us information literate people know what's biased and what we can trust. And once we review multiple sources, including those on the right, we can also get to the truth and facts of the matter. There's no such possibility on the right. Their followers refuse to trust anything that constitutes a reliable source. They get their news from indoctrination outlets like OAN, Newsmax, Breitbart, and Fox News, with the latter being the most reputable of the bunch, which is a really weird place to be, all things considered. So when these outlets and their talking heads on podcasts and social media operate as Republican mouthpieces, the crazies repeat them ad nauseum. There's another Roman word. Now, clearly, the average person has lots of responsibilities in their personal life, and they don't have time to focus much on the news and verify it with other sources of information. They take it exactly for what it is. We also have our own personal preferences and biases, intentionally or otherwise. As a result, we naturally seek out information that fits with our understanding of the world, or one that would lead us to a conclusion that we're already comfortable with. This is commonly known as confirmation bias, and I've said this in other videos. Without equal time during televised editorials, it's often easy to mistake commentary for news. You hear all the time, all politicians are the same, they're all crooks. This allows people to abdicate any responsibility to vet information and make educated decisions about politicians and issues. Arguing that both sides are the same is a typical deflection tactic. It isn't just lazy, it isn't logically sound. It's intellectually weak is what it is. And what I mean is, if we say that two things are exactly the same because they share a few similar characteristics, it's a logical error called conflation. This is essentially comparing apples and oranges. You've heard that before. This generally happens when one side wants to water down unfavorable sides of their own argument and lead their audience away from this inconvenient fact. For example, the tourists on January 6th might have been bad, but Black Lives Matter or Antifa did this, that, and the other. So now, in context, my side isn't so bad after all, and maybe your side is even worse. You see how that works? What we see now, more than ever, is that people definitely do like to be told what to do and how to think. You have to admit that's a lot easier than using your own brain, which works on a use it or lose it basis. Literally, everything mushes around together and people give up trying to figure out things for themselves and just believe in, say, Donald Trump because he tells them what they want to hear. They've continued to believe everything that he says, even when it's an obvious lie. Objective truth is ignored because they must remain loyal to him, the one who tells them what and how to think. And to be honest with you, if they had to actually confront the fact that they know that this is a blatant lie, then it causes them to question everything else that they've been told, starting with the one that they knew was fake, that they just decided, I'm going to believe this now anyway, or I'm at least going to repeat it and not acknowledge that it's real. And that is going to cause their fucking brain to explode. Not literally, but I fucking wish. What this means for us is, I want to impart to you to continue to use caution when you're spreading outrage and information in our community. And that includes me. Everyone is mentally tired and frustrated, but we need to keep focused and we need to be smart. There's satire and there's shit posting, and I'm an expert at both. And I know we have to have an outlet for that, but we also need to be better than the opposition are about spreading misinformation, misleading information, partial truths without context, and clear misinformation, except when we're doing it deliberately through a propaganda outlet whose name I'm not going to mention. The resistance starts with us. You want to know how you can get involved in the Sons of Liberty resistance movement? We've been organizing Sons of Liberty chapters by region and by state all across the country. Please do not ask me in the comment sections if we have a chapter in such and such state or such region. I'm not going to answer. You need to get on Discord because that is where our organization starts its base of operations, and for OPSEC purposes, I'm just not going to respond to these inquiries. I have a whole ass video linked right up there on a subject called OPSEC, or Operations Security. Operations Security, or OPSEC, is essentially the practice of denying information to your opposition, whoever or whatever that may be. So watch that video that if it's a foreign concept to you. Pete Whiskey Leaks Keg Breath should have paid attention to that video, am I right? I promote the Sons of Liberty Discord server in almost every long-form rant video that I do because Discord is where our fam of liberty is based. Whilst we do have off-topic channels, we also have region sections with helpful resources for those regions. In those spaces, you can organize with local fam of liberty for things like rallies and protests and bake sales. You can get vetted for Signal, which is how we coordinate protest actions and other things. No Houthis or journalists in there that I know of. On our Discord server, you can learn about practical things such as self-defense courses and find firearms instructors who are local to you and who are left-leaning. You can learn about home defense, home security. You can participate in firearms discussions with subject matter experts. You can learn about growing your own food in victory gardens and then canning and jarring and preserving that food. You can figure out your shit hits the fan contingency plans, which I acknowledge is very, very important now more than ever. You can build first aid kits. You can build bug out bags. You can link up with other fam of liberty members who could assist you with, as an example, moving to safety if you need to be safe, or going out of state for some camping with newly discovered long lost aunts and uncles. For those of you who have mentioned in the comment sections that you don't see our social media posts or videos even though you follow us on a certain platform, on our Discord server there's a channel where you can get updates from our social media. Now this does make our Discord ping heavy thanks to the webhooks that we use to integrate our various social media notifications. You can opt out and disable those in the channel appropriately named ping roll. If you're having trouble with Discord, I have this whole ass YouTube tutorial about how to get on the Sons of Liberty Discord server and how to get set up with your access permissions. So if you need assistance with Discord, start with that video. Maybe take some notes, maybe change how you do stuff online. The invite link to our Discord server is in the Throatpunch at the end of this video and all of our other videos. That invite link is also in the YouTube and Facebook video descriptions, and it's in the YouTube and TikTok channel descriptions. On Facebook, I also have a whole pinned post with all of our socials, as well as a Linktree page, which has the socials there as well. If you like the shirts, like this one, or the hoodie that I wear in my videos, some of them, but not all of them, are available in the Sons of Liberty merch store, provided that Etsy doesn't take me down for content violations. The merch store is listed in the Linktree in our YouTube channel description and in the video description. New merch goes up all the time, and a lot of these designs and merch are either offered to me by you, or they're added specifically because you request them in our comment sections. For example, I said the other day in a YouTube comment section that I was working on a Don't Simp for Your Oppressors design by request, and I meant to get it posted immediately, but now I'm rethinking the design that I want to use. I'm going with a Statue of Liberty that's wrapped in chains, but I want to get it perfect for you first. I'm digressing again. If you like our video content, we have a whole social media presence elsewhere on like 14 or 15 different platforms, so we'd appreciate it if you would follow us on all of our other socials, whichever ones that you have. The various socials that we have are listed in the Throatpunch at the end of all of our videos and in the Linktree, which can be found, again, on the channel descriptions. On YouTube and TikTok, we would also appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, and get notifications on our channel. It's a little bit of a different process on TikTok, but if you're still on TikTok, then you already know that. Anyway, I don't often use TikTok for long-form videos anymore since they've essentially shadow banned us and limited our reach. But you can help us extend our reach by sharing our video content on all of your socials. Go find the relevant Sons of Liberty account on that platform. Share the content, including this video, because it's probably linked there already. You can help us beat the algorithm by leaving us at least 7 words in the comment sections. Why 7 words, you might ask? I'm glad you asked. Posting at least 7 words in the comment section is the magic number for the algorithm to decide that your engagement on our content is more meaningful and thought-provoking than somebody else who just did a drive-by LOL or what you said or whatever. So therefore, it's to suggest our videos and our channel to people who watch the same things that you watch. That algorithm works on most other social media platforms, so be cognizant of that on places where you support your favorite content creators, like me and my admins. On that note, if you've watched this video all the way to the end and literally nothing that I've ranted about or shouted about or joked about has provided you with the inspiration to make a comment, but you still want to help us beat the algorithm, then the phrase, "I made it to the end of Big Sarge" is actually 8 words. So not only can you be an overachiever, but there's a suggestion for you. 2 claps and a Rick. 1 team, 1 fight. Join or die. I fucking mean it, because did you hear that Trump is now looking at deploying the military to help with all these immigration things? I got a rant coming about that shit. Best believe. Woo!
And now it's time for the Throatpunch!
Happily Floralia, everyone. Happily... The fuck, are you serious, bro? Happily... Motherfucker!